USA Radio News with Chris Barnes.
At the first of two highly anticipated hearings today on Capitol Hill, former special counsel Robert Mueller admits that his investigation into Russian election interference was never hindered by the Trump administration or anyone else. Republican Representative Doug Collins pressing Mueller about whether the terms collusion and conspiracy are synonymous.
I'll leave it with the report.
So the report says, yes, they are synonymous. Yes. Hopefully, for finally, out of your own report, we can put to bed the collusion and conspiracy.
Like he says in his report, Mueller told lawmakers there was insufficient evidence to file conspiracy charges against anyone in the Trump campaign. There are numerous reports that the governor of Puerto Rico, Ricardo Rossello, will step down today amid a scandal involving the publication of messages between Rossello and his advisors in which they joked about Hurricane Maria victims and made homophobic comments. This is USA Radio News. An agriculture department proposal that could cut food assistance to more than 3 million Americans will be open for public comment starting today. The Trump administration says the new policy would save the federal government billions of dollars. So how are those talks with China going on trade? The Treasury chief says they're still going.
My expectation is there'll be a few more meetings before we get a deal done. So I wouldn't expect we'll resolve all the issues, but the fact that we're back at the table at the direction of the two presidents is important.
Treasury Chief Steve Mnuchin speaking to reporters outside the White House, saying that the trade representative will be speaking with his counterpart in Shanghai starting next Monday, and then they'll follow up with future talks in Washington. New York first responders and supporters say they're relieved that the U.S. Senate gave final passage to a bill extending funding for the 9/11 Victim Compensation Fund till 2092. The president's to sign the bill on Friday. This is USA Radio News. Transgender people in North Carolina can now use a public bathroom that fits their gender identity. 3 years ago, the state passed House Bill 2, which limited people to use bathrooms in public buildings that conform with the gender of their birth. The so-called bathroom bill, though, led to boycotts and condemnation of the state from around the country. Now the state's executive branch has issued a decree that nothing in the law can stop transgender people from using public bathrooms of the gender they identify with. A Texas high school student is free after being arrested by Immigration and Customs Enforcement and held for 3 weeks without complete explanation. Francisco Galicia was released from the South Texas detention complex yesterday. The 18-year-old student-athlete had been picked up in late June and held for those 3 weeks, even after he showed agents a copy of his birth certificate proving he was born in Dallas in 2000. Galicia was on his way to a college athletic scholarship recruiting meeting near Fort Worth when the ICE agents arrested him. And NASA says 3 asteroids are going to pass very close to Earth today. The largest, called 2019 OD, is nearly 400 feet wide. It should miss the planet by about 220,000 miles. The second will be further out, the final about 600,000 miles away. Find us online at usaradio.com for USA Radio News. I'm Chris Barnes.